What would be, but so give me just, I know that there's dozens and dozens, but what's one such rule that was taken away that now makes it easier to start a business?
Nothing come to mind right now.
Is there anything that you can remember even seeing at any time?
Nothing come to mind at
Nothing.
this time.
Wow.
No.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's stick with economics just for a moment. What do you think the top marginal tax rate should be for top earners?
Good question, man. I don't know. I haven't thought about it at this point.
Is it too high or too low currently?
I'm not sure at this time, David.
You're not sure. So
No.
how do you know that Trump's tax plan is good if you don't even know what tax rates are and how he changed them?
In this video, David Pakman humiliates Jesse Lee Peterson's pathetic Trump defense. Jesse Lee Peterson is about to put on a masterclass in not knowing a single thing about what he's talking about. He praises Donald Trump's tax plan but has no clue what tax rates are. He says Trump has done a great job on trade but can't name a single accomplishment or can't even explain what's left to fix. Whenever David Pakman tries to bring up a good point, he just straight up refuses to answer or just does not know anything about the question at all. So make sure to watch till the end to see how David Pakman humiliates Jesse Lee Peterson's pathetic Trump defense.
Well, because I have not been focusing on that lately. I have more important things to think about and do. That has not been one of my primary focus at this point.
All right. Well, let's take a different topic then. Donald Trump made a huge deal during the campaign in 2016 and now about trade with China, trade with Mexico and Canada. Do you believe that Donald Trump has fulfilled his campaign promises on trade, or do you believe he has fallen short?
He has not fallen short, but he has not completed them at this time. That's why we have to, one of the reasons, but not the only, that we have to do 4 more years.
Yeah.
So he can finalize the trade deals that he is working on.
What would you like to
And
see him do on trade that he's not yet done?
To make sure that America is being treated fairly in trade deals and that we're not giving away or being used as we have been in the past in those ways.
Interesting. So Donald Trump yesterday at his rally said that he fixed China, that now China has to treat us fairly because he fixed it. And he says that he fixed Canada and Mexico with USMCA, so they're now treating us fairly. So who's left that's not treating us fairly on trade?
Did he mention that yesterday? I didn't hear that at all.
It was either yesterday or, I mean, the
Maybe
rallies are blending together. Maybe it was the day before.
Did he say who was left that he had to deal with?
No, I'm asking you, who do you think is still treating us
You
unfairly?
need to call the White House spokesperson, and they can answer those questions for you. I have no idea.
Well, but I guess what I'm
not
trying to
in-
understand, Jesse,
I'm not in government, so you're asking me the wrong questions.
right. But so you asserted that you like a lot of what Trump accomplished on trade,
Right,
but
but the
believe
things
that,
that
but hold
you're
on, Jesse. Hold on,
asking
Jesse,
me-
though. No, hold on,
The
Jesse.
thing
Hold
you're
on, hold on.
asking about, David, you have to call the White House.
You're going to
get
have plenty of
responses.
time to answer. Let me just get the question out. You asserted that you like some of what he did on trade, but you want to see him do more. I'm saying, what more should he do?
I have no idea, David.
You don't
but
know.
he knows, so you should call them and ask them. You're asking me the wrong questions.
Oh, that's interesting because it sounds like you don't really know what's going on.
So David Pakman's trying to get Jesse Lee Peterson to talk about specifics about the trade and taxes, but Jesse is just completely lost, as you can see. He claims Trump's tax plan is great, but when he's asked about what the current tax rates are, he just has no idea. He can't even name a single benefit of Trump's trade policies. He just says things are fixed without any actual evidence to back it up. It's a clear example of someone blindly pirating talking points without having the facts to back them up. The US's trade deficit was consistently high during Trump's term, indicating that trade deals weren't quite as successful as some might even claim. In fact, under his administration, the trade deficit increased despite his promises to fix it.
Not totally, no.
No,
Not
okay.
in that area, and I'm not concerned about that either.
Well, but you mentioned it as something you liked, so it must concern you
I
to some
like what
degree.
the president is doing and has done as far as bringing jobs back, as far as some of the trade deals he's done. But for more information, you should contact them.
But you don't think you should be an
You're wasting
informed
your time. I
voter?
just told you you should contact them. Don't you understand? Or it's hard to understand?
No, it's actually
Well,
coming
then you
through
need to
clearer than
move
ever.
on. If you want to continue, you need to move on because you're asking the wrong person.
So you're a very strong advocate of the president, and
I love the great white hope.
you powerfully say on your program people should vote for him, but you seem unable to articulate what he's actually done. Are you you're of course in coastal California, which is a place that, if the sea level continues to rise, could have flooding problems. We've also seen a number of prominent conservatives abandon California for more politically conservative parts of the country. Is that something you're thinking about?
About abandoning California?
Yeah, because it's so liberal.
Not at this time. At one time, for the first time in I've been here since 1968.
Yeah.
It did cross my mind, but I'm not ready to pack up and run at this time. I believe that that California will come back to become a conservative state because the Democrats have done a good job in screwing it up when it comes to illegal aliens, homelessness, now the lockdown from the so-called Chinese virus, the fires, the high taxes.
And even with all of that, Jesse, you still prefer it to other conservative parts of the country after decades. That's interesting.
Because I love California. I
Right.
like the well, it used to be beautiful at one time.
Yep.
I like the opportunities in California, and just an amazing state.
You know what else is amazing? You clicking that like and subscribe button. So go do it right now. It really helps the channel a lot.
We just need to get the Democrats out and replace them with conservative Republicans.
Right. And you think you'll like it even more if Republicans take over California?
If they're conservatives and not rhinos, I believe that we can put it back to a normal state of being prior to the Democrats completely taking over.
Now David Pakman's asking about California, and Jesse's just as confused as he usually is. He can't respond properly. Jesse just rambles about high taxes and homelessness, but can't explain why he even stays in a state he criticizes so much. His whole argument just keeps boiling down to empty words and nostalgia for the past that's long gone. Another thing is Jesse's stuck in a fantasy where California can just flip back to being conservative, ignoring the actual political shifts that's been happening. His whole defense is just vague talking points with nothing to back it up.
What's something really specific in terms of the law that you'd like to see California do differently? It could be anything. It could be on, guns. It could be on economic policy. Like, what would you like to see changed in California from a legal standpoint?
Well, number one, I would like to see the borders closed, shut down completely so the illegals cannot come in. I would like to see laws that says we will not and cannot and shall not pay for so-called health care for illegal aliens or anyone who is unwilling to work for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see lower taxes for home buyers, land buyers, and people like that. The restriction as far as the Second Amendment,
Right.
They need to take their hands off our Second Amendment. We have the right to buy bullets,
Wow.
to own whatever gun we want, and have as many as we want. I would change some of those rules.
Listen, you mentioned you want to shut down the border. I'm curious. A lot of Americans in California, Arizona, Texas, they go to Mexico for medical care because they can't afford it here in the United States. Do you want to shut that down as well? Do you want to stop Americans from going to Mexico for medical care?
I don't want to stop them from going. They can go anywhere they want to for it, but I don't want us to have to pay for illegal alien health care in our country. And we should, in our state or in our country, period.
Okay.
But we definitely should not be a sanctuary state or city. I would definitely change that. But you could be free. You're American. You can go wherever you want to get health care. That's up to you.
Should Americans be more free than citizens of other countries?
America should be, we are the light of the world, and we absolutely should be free. It's up to the other folks in their country to determine how much freedom they want.
But if other countries determine that their citizens should be as free as Americans should be, you have no problem with that, right?
If that's what they want, they can do whatever they want in their country. I'm only concerned about my country.
Speaking of our country, Jesse, when we watch your program and we hear these impassioned critiques of the things that are going wrong in the United States that you issue, one can't help but wonder, what country has it right? When you look around the world, Jesse, because you have so many, criticisms of the United States, what country do you see that is getting it right on certain issues that you think we should emulate?
We shouldn't emulate any of those countries. They are to emulate us
Okay.
because we're the best and the greatest country on this side of heaven.
Yeah.
We are the example of what other countries should become.
But let me see if I can rephrase it. Okay.
Even though the Democrats have screwed it up a lot, the president is making it great again.
Right.
But we are the example for the rest of the world.
And wrapping this up, Jesse's really showing his true colors here. Shows lots of his loud opinions, but no real answers. He just wants to shut down the border, but can't explain how that fits with his belief in personal freedom. He throws out talking points about the Second Amendment and taxes, but just avoids specific when asked about actual policy change. Then when David pushes him on healthcare and freedom for Americans, Jesse just keeps deflecting and insists we're the best country in the world with no need to learn from others. And in the end, it's just a lot of empty rhetoric with no depth. He's all about defending Trump and claiming the US is perfect, but he can't articulate into how any of that translates into real practical, real world changes. Anyways, if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below.